The Jets made a flurry of roster moves ahead of their Week 7 matchup against the Carolina Panthers. We'll talk about it. Boy Green Daily starts now.
I'm going to lose my gosh darn bananas. Boy Green Daily starts now. Zoinks!
Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Let's go!
Put your seatbelts on. Get ready for the ride. We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm Paul Eston Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. Welcome to Boy Green Daily, a daily New York Jets video show, also available wherever you get your friggin' podcast. If you guys would like to skip ahead, the article is in the YouTube description down below, because before we get started, and thank you for the likes on the video and the subscriptions and everyone jumping on the train, toot toot, and all that fun jazz. We got a lot to get to here on the show. And again, if you guys want to see what the headline's all about, the Jets cutting and making a flurry of roster moves, they signed a couple guys to the practice squad, got rid of Leonard Taylor III, unfortunately, who I like a lot. But I want to start with the Nick Mangold news. In case you guys didn't see this, let's throw this up on the big board. He released a lengthy statement yesterday. Long story short, Nick Mangold needs a kidney. In 2006, he was diagnosed with a genetic defect that ultimately led to him having a chronic kidney disease. And after having a very rough summer, he's undergoing dialysis as they look for a kidney transplant. He said, "I always knew this day would come, but I always thought I would have more time." So very sad news for Nick Mangold, who needs your help out there in the universe. So if any of you Jet fans are interested in potentially donating your kidney, he is in need of a kidney donor with type O blood. If you're willing to find out if you could be a match and donate a kidney to Nick Mangold, you guys can visit the columbiasurgery.org website /kidney transplant. And you can click on the link. There is a tab on the website that says, "I want to donate my kidney," and then use the full name of Nicholas Mangold and his birth day, which is January 13th, 1984. And you can have an opportunity to try to see if you could be a match for Nick Mangold. That's very sad and scary, and hopefully Nick Mangold is able to find a kidney transplant. I would say the good news of this is that that it's hopeful. The chances of there being a match. I'm not a doctor, but man, Adam Schefter, Ian Rappaport, the New York Jets issued this out as a team press release. There should be this got blown up, and hopefully went, and it looked like it got in front of a lot of people's eyes. So we're thinking about Nick Mangold, a team legend, one of our favorites, and absolutely sad news. He says he's going through a tough stretch, but he's trying to stay positive through all of this. And so legend number 74. We interviewed him about a year and a half ago, and I love Nick, and he's a team legend, one of the best, and that is incredibly sad news. So hopefully he can get that kidney transplant that he needs. So we're praying for you and thinking about you, Nick Mangold. We're thinking about you, pal. All right, there's no proper transition from that, but nonetheless, let's get into it here. The Jets moved on from Leonard Taylor III yesterday, and Leonard Taylor III was a former defensive lineman at Miami. And when he was at Miami, there was buzz that he could be a first-round pick. He was in mock drafts. I just saw ESPN put out another mock draft. I guess I'll have to start diving into those. But specifically for Leonard, he was a first-round pick early in his Miami career, projected, had buzz. And then he fell off. People questioned his motor and if he was living up to his talent and inconsistency on tape and things of that nature. So long story short, Leonard Taylor III goes undrafted. He doesn't get his name called. But the Jets scoop him up, and you think with the Jets' ability to find defensive linemen and get the most out of them, hey, this is a low-risk, high-reward kind of move. And he flashed during his rookie season last year, had a sack and a half, had a couple of quarterback hits, had some tackles for loss, and you're like, all right, man, there's a little bit of intrigue there, and he didn't play a lot of the defensive snaps, so maybe with more opportunities you could do more. But the fact of the matter is this: here's as much as I love Leonard, and I got a personal relationship. We've interacted a lot. personally, but I have to put that aside. The fact of the matter is this: Leonard wasn't getting on the field. He was a healthy scratch. They kept him on the bench for 4 out of the 6 weeks of this season. He was a healthy scratch. He was inactive. So this isn't going to move the needle because he hasn't been on the field. So he's not the reason the Jets defense stunk. And to be honest, when the Jets made a pair of trades right before the season for Harrison Phillips and Juwan Briggs, that took away 2 roster spots and, most importantly for Leonard, snaps, reps. I mean, Harrison Phillips and Juwan Briggs are eating up reps, which takes away opportunities, of course, from Leonard Taylor. And I thought this was going to be the year of Leonard Taylor. I wrote about that earlier in the offseason because the Jets didn't do any moves at defensive tackle. So Leonard had as good of a shot of anybody but about getting a ton of reps next to Quinnen Williams. So I said, oh, man, this is going to be good for LT3. I was really excited for him. But, yeah, there just wasn't any room for him on this roster. And I hope with this release that he's able to land on his feet and go to a place where he could get some opportunities. So I'm happy from that standpoint where Leonard hopefully will get a chance. We'll talk about the return additions. Jesus, I'll get over the sickness at some point before I die. I see we got a couple of memberships gifted right off the top rope. Love to see it, baby. MFC, let's go. That one in a second because I see we have another membership being gifted. Our number 1 Austrian Jet fan, baby. 29 raffle tickets for our number 1 Austrian Jets fan. And for MFC, that is 3 raffle tickets, my friend. Here are the 2 new members to the Boy Green Coffee Club. Let's let it rain from the high heavens, baby. Anthony Lagurdo, you got that from MFC. And number 1 Austrian Jet fan, your membership went to Jigga, Celsa Porto. Jigga, good to see you back in here, man. There you go, a Boy Green Coffee Club membership heading over there. That's what I'm talking about. Hell yeah. Let me update the scrolling ticker for Austrian, who's in first place in our giveaway so far this month. Also, flip up the items coming up here for our raffle. We do raffles. If you're new to the channel, we do raffles every single month here on the program. And all you have to do is spend $3 on the YouTube channel to have an opportunity to win these fabulous prizes on a month-to-month basis. So feel free to take full advantage, folks. And here we go. It's every single month. Here are all the items we have. It's a random vintage Jets player t-shirt. I love doing that blast from the past. We've got the Boy Green Woody tailgate package. If you guys did not go to our Jets Cowboys game, well, we're going to include everything that we can from the tailgate in a box. So you're going to get the t-shirt that's on the far right. You'll get a koozie, Jets coaster, bottle openers. We have a vintage New York Jets NFL Combine authentic cold gear long sleeve with hood that's featured on the far left. And then also we're going to include the 1975 official New York Jets yearbook cover. Shout out to Joey Matezik, who donated that to the Boy Green Coffee Club. So share some cool Jets history with each and every one of you. If you guys want an opportunity to win these prizes, all you have to do is spend $3 on the channel. And there's no limit to how many raffle tickets you can get. Hit the money sign on YouTube. Final option says gift channel memberships, or you can super chat, or do whatever you'd like. It's all up to you out in the universe. So take full advantage. Again, you guys got another 2 weeks plus. It's October 15th, and we got Halloween this month. So, hey, continue to do it. We'll reveal that prize winner on November 1st. A lot of great raffles to come here on the channel. Let's friggin' go. So thank you guys for all the membership love. And make sure you guys like the video and hit subscribe. So Leonard Taylor III is out. I think he's going to land on his feet. We'll see where he ends up going here shortly. We'll probably find that news out today. They made a couple of moves on the practice squad. They brought in wide receiver Trenton Irwin and then released Avery Williams. Avery Williams, we hardly knew ya. But Trenton Irwin, here's the skinny on Trenton Irwin. Kind of an interesting guy. Some Garrett Wilson wide receiver insurance for the Jets. He's 6'2", 204 pounds. He originally joined the Miami Dolphins as a UDFA out of Stanford in 2019. He got released by the team in August of that year. He didn't make the final roster cut. Then he jumped over to the Bengals in October, spent his next 6 seasons in Cincinnati, where a lot of you guys will probably know him. He filled in at receiver when Jamar Chase or T. Higgins or anybody was hurt. He always stepped in there. He appeared in 41 games, 16 of which during that 2023 season, recorded 46 catches, 600 yards, 5 touchdowns over his career. He also had a brief stint with the Panthers last season, and then he spent this summer with the Jacksonville Jaguars before not making the final roster. So some extra wide receiver insurance for the Jets. Now, because I pay attention to this sort of thing, the Jets they have long story short, they have a roster spot available. Leonard Taylor III was on the 53-man roster. Those 2 wide receiver moves I mentioned was a practice squad thing. So there's still a spot available on the 53-man roster. I counted it 3 times on their roster sheet just to make sure that I had the numbers right. So there's a spot available. What will that spot be filled with? There's a lot of intrigue. Now, a fan tweeted at me, and I think this might be a reasonable reason why the spot's open. The Jets did open the practice window for linebacker Jamarcus Weston on October 8th. What does that mean? Well, there's a 21-day practice window, and at some point during that practice window, if they deem him ready to go, they can activate him, and he would be, of course, put on the 53-man roster. So they would need a roster spot for that. So he went through the first week last week, and nothing. And then we have this week coming up. So we'll see. He was a limited participant, so it looks like he could be ready to go. That's a key special teams sort of thing if he ends up getting activated. If they don't activate him after the 21 days, then he's going to be out for the season. So we'll see what happens there. He played 60 preseason snaps and had that fumble recovery against the Green Bay Packers in the preseason that led to a field goal during that 30-10 win over the Green Bay Packers. So Jamarcus Weston could be who they're saving that roster spot for. We'll see later this week. Aaron Glenn also set to speak today. We'll see what that looks like as well. There you have it, a flurry of roster moves for your New York Jets. Let's answer some of your questions and comments here on the program. Like I said, Jordan Reed just put in a mock draft out there. Number 1 overall pick, getting a quarterback, which Lon will love. Daniel, should the Jets look into James Franklin? No. Yeah, that's going to be a no for me, dog, as I pull up James Franklin, who was obviously a longtime coach at Penn State. He's 53 years old. Let me see. Of course, Olu Fashion and some of the Penn State people love him on the team. Yeah, he's got the only NFL background he has is he was a wide receivers coach for 1 season with the Green Bay Packers in 2005. Everything else was in college. Yeah, that's just not the sort of risk I want to take, to be honest. And if I'm doing it for a college coach, I'm swinging for much higher than James Franklin, with all due respect, who just got fired from Penn State. So, no, I appreciate the question, but no, I would have no interest in James Franklin. And quite frankly, I think a concern or criticism or what have you from Jet fans is that the Jets didn't hire a coach that's done it before, right? Like Neil went on a rant earlier this week on the show. Like, man, I want a coach that has a resume in the National Football League. And that's a reasonable thing to request. I mean, again, I've said this a lot of times, but I'll keep repeating it. In Woody Johnson's 25 years of ownership, he bought the team in 2000. He has only ever hired one coach that was a retread. That's Adam Gase, who was terrible, of course. So, no on James Franklin. No. We got the great Jake Asman here in the chat. Let's immediately go to a YouTube super chat. Every time we get a super chat, we hear from my daughter, Zariah Luna.
Wow.
I've enjoyed these super chats throughout the week, Jake. AG is coaching football to where it's going, folks. I just saw Jake's rant. He was on, I'm going to butcher it. He was on ESPN New York. I'll just say that. I know the show's not the Michael K show anymore. So Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg, I think. Yeah, I think that's it. I saw his rant, and Jake has been going back and forth with Don about Aaron Glenn and the balance of whether it's incompetency or inexperience. And in fairness, last week was very incompetent. I mean, it's hard to defend some of the things that were happening in that Broncos game. But I lean more towards inexperience. So Jake would probably be yelling at me right now. But, the thing, and this is why, to Neil's rant earlier in the week, that he wanted a coach that's done it before, is when you hire a coach, no matter how impressive you think their credentials are, and they've never been an NFL head coach before, you just don't know what they're going to be. It's a mystery. It doesn't matter. They're wildly impressive or not impressive or whatever. You don't know until you get in the chair. Like, man, running an entire operation. You go from calling players on one side of the ball to, run the entire team. It's impossible to prognosticate, which is why it's so difficult to hit on a first-year head coach. Now, there's a lot of wildly successful first-year head coaches. Look around the National Football League. You'll find them. But you just don't know. So Aaron Glenn is obviously in deep water here at 0-6, and he's struggling to make all kinds of decisions from the last 4 minutes of each half. Aaron Glenn said it earlier this offseason. That's on the head coach, and he has been terrible in those scenarios so far. But I lean towards inexperience. And he's going to, again, if we see more of what the Broncos game is, then I may have no choice. I may have no helping in defending him if we see more of that incompetency. But at this point, I'm championing inexperience and saying, hey, Aaron Glenn just has never done this before. He's figuring it out. But what we need to see is progress. Of course, results-oriented business, we need to certainly see wins. But I think what the Jets need to see is also improvement in game. Let's see the defense continue to play the way they did last week. Let's see special teams continue to play like they did last week. Let's see Tanner Engstrand get a little bit closer to week 1 than he's been in the last 5 weeks. That's what I think we'd like to see. But appreciate the super chat, Jake. Very supportive of the channel, and thank you. I'm a big Jake Asman fan, and as all of you are, I'm sure, in the audience. Why wouldn't you be? Jake Asman's the GOAT. He's the legend. As maniacs. All right, let's keep going here on your comments. Let's see. Offensive coaches is what people want, which I can understand. Oh, Alon says no retreads. He doesn't want any retreads. Everyone's different, I guess. AG is in way over his head, Alon says. Yeah. Again, on the quarterback decision, because I see Easy bringing it up. Glenn could have pulled Fields and said, sit down and breathe and put in Tyra. We need a spark. Yeah. Again, I think I talked about this with Jake on our interview yesterday. There are 2 different quarterback decisions. There's the one that's in game to decide, where you're like, hey, man, like, in the moment, we need to do what we need to do to win this game. And then there's the season-long decision. I don't think Tyrod Taylor should be in the season-long conversation. He's old as hell. He is what he is. There's just no point to me in if we were 3-3, if we were 4-2, and then I guess you wouldn't be making a quarterback change. But if the season was in the balance of like making the playoffs or something, that is where you could say, like, hey, let's make a quarterback change to save the season and make the playoffs. Like, Tyrod ain't saving this season. So, to me, I'm riding the Justin Fields train the rest of the season. But in moments, I guess, if you want to try to, like, there's an argument to be made in the Denver game that he should have been benched with how he performed. But I see Kurt Warner has been getting into it with Jake Asman and Michael Nania and everybody on social media. He has not been happy with, I guess, the Jets' response after calling that game. Excuse me. Daniel says, who should we look for in the first round? Hey, if we finish with the top 5 pick, it's going to be a quarterback. If the Jets turn the season around, they're like 6 or 7 wins or something, which seems unlikely. But if somehow they flip that around, maybe you're out of range and then you have to do something crazy, I guess. I don't know. I mean, the Jets have a lot of needs. I mean, linebacker, offensive line potentially, quarterback, obviously, pass rusher, defensive tackle. I mean, the needs are endless, quite frankly. So it's it'd be easier to list what they don't need, perhaps. Yeah. Paul, tell me your top 3 experienced coaching hopefuls and no retreads. Of like coaches to like the Jets would get that aren't a retread and that are experienced. I don't know who that is. I'm gonna be honest. I struggle to come up with one. Like experienced in what? Because you've brought up college guys. That's incredibly risky. And then NFL guys, like, no matter how experienced they are, again, we're talking about coordinators, and you're always risking it. So you never know what that is either. So I don't know if I can give you any answer for that, Alon, to be honest with you. Yeah. But I understand all the people that want an offensive guy, I totally understand. I totally get where you're coming from. Because I think a lot of us have said, you know what, if we, and again, it didn't work with Adam, but that's also the thing. Jesus. That's also the thing, is that not only have we normally gone with first time guys, but we've normally only gone defense. I believe the only offensive head coach that Woody Johnson's ever hired is also only Adam Gase. Everyone else is defense. So, to get a young or any kind of offensive mind, I think a lot of Jet fans would have been excited for. Phil asks, Paul, why not see what Cook is all about? It's way too early for that, in my opinion, Phil. And you're talking, of course, about Brady Cook, the undrafted free agent on the practice squad. Here's the for the Jets to go to that nuclear option of leapfrogging Tyrod Taylor and Justin Fields to go to a UDFA on your practice squad that any team could sign at any point. Like, that's there's 3 weeks left in the season sort of move. And some people are not going to want to hear that, but that's the truth. Brady Cook, it is very unrealistic that Brady Cook is going to get signed to active roster and then leapfrog everyone on the depth chart. That just seems incredibly unlikely. If it was going to happen, it's end of the season and like all hell has broken loose. They're 0-14. They're 3-11, where it doesn't matter anymore. I say just ride the Justin Fields train. You gave him $30 million guaranteed. You hoisted him. You crowned him as the guy all off season. And yes, he had one of the worst games of all time, clearly. But I don't. Obviously, look at Aaron Glenn's comments. He is not running away from Justin Fields. Yeah. Again, I see a lot of people. Who is this? Let me bring this up. Dave Briga. Don't be surprised if Jets get 2 wins and this dude is still the coach. What he has done, Aaron Glenn. Again, I'm just not ready to fire Aaron Glenn, man. I just am not ready to do it. I need to see what these games are now. Where are all these look like the Broncos game, where all kinds of mistakes are being made throughout the game, and he's showing no progress himself as a head coach and a manager. That's another thing I'd like to see improvement on, because that's what my gut says. My gut says he's going to improve in these situations, and that will be encouraging. I'm like, okay, it's not just winning random games at the end of the season. Then it's just AG like showing competency as a head coach and the point man of like he's like hey. Obviously, Steve Wilkes deserves credit, but AG deserves credit for the defense. That didn't just randomly happen. I know Jermaine came back and that flipped. Like, AG deserves credit for the defense turning around, special teams picking it up. He believed in his guys. Remember last week he said, I believe in Banjo, I believe in Wilkes, and he stuck by his guys, and they are turning it around. So, that's got to be some sort of a positive sign. But I also don't want to be scraping the bottom of the barrel for positive signs with the Jets at 0-6. So wins would help. Wins would be a good antidote to calm down the fan base that is incredibly upset. We've got a new YouTube account. Hire John Gruden. All right, I respect that. Okay, there you go. I'll give you guys one of these. Sure. I'm all for it, Chucky. Hey now. Yeah.
It's Jets, Jets. I love Fireman Ed, too.
Yeah, here we go.
Jets, Jets.
Yes.
Thank you, Bob. Appreciate that. Thanks, Bob. Whew. God, this sickness is going to kill me. All right. Well, I appreciate you guys allowing me to power through here. But hire John Gruden. That's the first time I've seen that YouTube account. So salute. I love Chucky. That is hilarious. All right. The Cliff Kingsbury, I see people saying. I don't know, man. I'm just hoping AG turns it around. Have Mo. Patience is the hardest thing to do. 100%. This fan base is hungry. They're hungry for wins, and we're 0-6. We're starving out there. We're starving out there in the streets. And patience is hard to preach to a fan base that's missed the playoffs for 14 years. But again, I just don't think rash decisions are the answer here. I just don't think so. I want AG to have a chance. He's got. We'll see what the rest of the season looks like. I want AG to be back. I want us to build this thing and figure it out. That's what I want. There has been a lot of coaches in history that have had rough patches and they've turned it around. Now, I want to see that happen. Let's see how they respond. Week 7 at home. Now, coming off of London, that can always be tough, but Week 7, Panthers are actually performing very well. They just took out the Dallas Cowboys. How do you perform at home in this Panthers game? Winnable game. Right there. What do you do? Can the offense bounce back? That's what I want to see. Can the offense bounce back, and can defense and special teams maintain? They perform very well. That would be my questions. Yeah. Rico the Pup says, you don't roll Brady Cook out now because if he's pure ass, you'll get 200 stretch for thinking a practice squad player was better option. 100%. Right. And doing that week 7, it's way too early. Again, if that's going to happen, it's going to happen at the end of the year. That's what I think. Indy Jet says AG is digging his own hole by keeping Fields a starter. I totally disagree. Again, there's a difference between an in-game thing and a season-long thing. If like Justin's playing so bad, you're just like, hey, kid, you just don't got it today. Sit on the bench. Starting pitcher doesn't have it. Bring in the other guy. But it means nothing for the season long. Get back out there week 7, Justin. You can make an argument. You can make an argument for that. Yes. But, no. Justin Fields is $30 million guaranteed. Tyrod Taylor, again, is not saving this team. Jet fans rushing to play Tyrod Taylor, who, by the way, in week 3 stunk. He sucked. Well, what are we talking about? It's not like Tyrod had this awesome game where we're like, we're holding this guy hostage back here. This clearly better option. I know Connor Hughes said he heard from players said Tyrod's clearly a better option. I don't know, man. He played in week 3. He prepared in week 3. He had the full week. Justin Fields didn't practice at all. He had a pick 6 on a terrible throw late to the sideline. And then he got strip sacked and fumbled. Those 10 points at Tampa Bay, we lost by a handful of points. Tyrod Taylor was not great in that game. And for, if we're going with the captain, hey, Jets didn't do anything until late sort of situation, that's what happened. They picked it up in the fourth quarter where Tyrod started to find some stuff. But, he did not play great. So I don't know what's the rush to go to Tyrod Taylor. He's a backup quarterback. He hasn't been a full-time starter in 8 years. Why does everyone I'm not trying to pick up the steam here, but why is everyone in a rush to play Tyrod Taylor? He's old. He's injury prone. And let's be honest, if you went to Tyrod Taylor, we're probably going back to Justin Fields pretty quickly anyway because Tyrod can't stay healthy. The fact of the matter is this. The season is lost. Historically lost. No team has ever come back from 0-6 and made the playoffs. So if the Jets want to make that kind of history, I'm all about it. I'd like to be talking about wins on this show. But, yeah, I don't get the rush to go to Tyrod, man. I don't get it. But, hey, different strokes, different folks, I suppose. Anthony T says, fans just want to fire to fire at 6 games. Yeah, I'm not ready to pull any triggers, man. I'm and I might be in the minority here, but I'm riding the AG train. I'm going to continue it moving forward. I want him to get his own guys in here. I want him to be able to flip the narrative. Getting comments here from YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. Appreciate all the stuff coming through. We got another super chat. Our guy EZ. Let's send this through. Hey now.
Wow.
EZ. How short is Fields' leash after London backlash? That's a good question, EZ. Connor Hughes said that basically the Jets should be ready to pull the trigger if in the first quarter This is what Connor Hughes said and shared. He said which by the way, you have 3 raffle tickets based on your previous Super Check combinations, easy. He said if Justin Fields looks anything like what we just saw in Denver, or in London rather, against Denver, then you got to go to Tyrod Taylor. I mean, if it's that bad and he's like being scared to throw, I'd probably give him a half. I probably wouldn't do it in the first quarter, but either way, I mean, let's just hope it's just not that bad. I mean, that's it. So, hopefully Justin Fields responds to adversity here, that he doesn't look scared. I mean, maybe you'll get a sense very early in the game and maybe you would go to him after the first quarter, but yeah, hopefully Justin just bounces back. He seems like a super strong-minded individual, so but let's see how he responds to that adversity. But yeah, Connor Hughes said like after the first quarter is what he said. Like if it's not there, like hey, like let's go. All right, Micro Fox, he says he's with me. Thank you, Boy Green, for not regurgitating the same nonsense everyone else says. I'm with you. Yeah, I know a lot of people are saying it. In the social media streets, there's a lot of influential heads that are saying it. Again, might be unpopular, but I'm just not ready to do anything crazy with AG yet. And to say, like, has there been bad moments? Of course, they're 0-6. They're the only winless team in football. That sucks. But, like, he's never done this job before. The Jets' job is difficult. He knows that better than anyone. That's one of the reasons I like when they hired him, is he's been a Jet. So it's not like someone like Saleh came from San Francisco, where San Francisco has had all kinds of wonderful. They've won all these Super Bowls, and Joe Montana and Steve Young, like they've had a ton of success. And then comes over from West Coast guy. Don't worry, I'll figure it all out. He's not an East Coast guy. And then comes in and then nothing. So like AG knows exactly what this is. That's the reason why I like the hire, besides a lot of other factors. Now, there's some things I was concerned about. I was concerned just like a lot of you guys out there in the universe. He's never done the job before, and he's a defensive guy, and we've had defensive guys all the time. But I like that he came from a winning program with the Lions. Everywhere he's been able to turn it around. New Orleans, Detroit, former Jet, of course. He knows the market. And it's not just the nostalgia of, hey, he was a first-round pick of the Jets, when I was a 1-year-old. It was that, like, he's been through the winning and the losing. He knows what both looks like. He knows what the city is when it's rocking. And he's been around winning programs. Like, that's a worthwhile bet for me. But like I said, let's see what the rest of the season is. Taylor Strong, Tyrod threw a back-breaking pick six. It was an awful pick six. Could Garrett have fought to the ball a little bit more? Maybe, but that was a stupid throw from Tyrod. What he's supposed to be? When you make a change from Justin Fields of 26 to Tyrod Taylor 36, you're hoping for all right. Like there's more upside with Justin Fields, but there's supposed to be a higher floor of Tyrod, and that didn't prove itself fucking true in the Week 3 game. He threw that terrible pick six. Like what a off his back foot. Like football 101, Tyrod. Jesus, man. What are you doing? So, and on a couple of protection calls, Tyrod didn't make the right adjustment. He gets blitzkrieged. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. That was a terrible pick six. That was a terrible pick six. Absolutely awful. What are we talking about, man? Yeah, so I'm not ready to go Tyrod. We don't have a capable, guy. Now, that's a great question from Indy. Who the hell's the new wide receiver one this week? Good boy. I mean, AG should give us an indication of, like, how long Garrett's out. Now, from Adam Schefter, and again, we've talked about this before, that we've got 2 games here. Week 7 at home, Carolina Panthers. Week 8 on the road, Cincinnati Bengals. Week 7, 8, 9 is the bye. And then week 10, you come back for the Cleveland Browns game. So it would make sense if Garrett was to set to miss a couple of weeks that you would miss these 2 weeks. He'd get the bye to rest up. He'd have the week leading into the Browns game. And basically, from pillar to post, from A to Z, he'd basically have a month off from football. So, boy, who's the new number 1 wide receiver this week? Well, according statistically, the next guy up is Josh Reynolds at wide receiver, which isn't encouraging. We got some random veterans. It's Allen Lazard, Josh Reynolds, Tyler Johnson. I'm hoping that this is a great news for Arian Smith. I haven't written that piece yet. I wanted to wait for the official word from AG today, and then I'll write that piece maybe today or tomorrow about like Aaron Smith getting this opportunity. Hopefully that's great news for him. Like, there's no silver lining to Garrett Wilson getting hurt. That just sucks. He's our number one wide receiver, straw that stirs the drink, top 5 highest paid wide receiver in football. Like, man, Garrett Wilson's our man. So without him, like, it's just devastating. Devastating. It's absolutely devastating. But in the intermediate, hopefully that can be good news for Aaron Smith to finally get involved after all this time. But who's the number one wide receiver this week? Mason Taylor? Breece Hall, maybe? I don't know. It's probably one of them. I don't know if it is a literal wide receiver. But if it is, I hope it's Aaron Smith. That might be unfair expectations for a 4th-round pick that hasn't really done a lot this season, but that's what I'm hoping for. Ground and Punch says Brian Flores is more qualified and a better defensive mind. He would be a retread as a coach who's done it before. I think he was born in New York. I think I remember when we were doing the breakdown on all the profiles. Now he's a hard ass too, like AG, from experience talking to Dolphins people and stuff. So like, that like cold-blooded, and he's a former Patriot. That's sort of gross, where he won a couple of Super Bowls. But yeah, Brian Flores has a very hard demeanor, similar to AG and any other hard-nosed defensive mind. Now, his defense has been awesome, but the hate relationship with Tua is still something. Now, now we're seeing some other stuff from Tua now that might lean more credence to Flores, but a head coach and quarterback are supposed to have this phenomenal relationship. That is like a given you're supposed to have. So, like, to see how he hated Tua's guts, and that was their top 5 pick, and man, that was very messy, very messy. And so the player relationship thing scares me a little bit on Flores, to be honest with you. Yeah, and he caught a lot of heat for that. Yeah. Again, I just don't think Brady Cooks, if you guys want that lever pulled, I don't think that's happening till the end of the season. So, yeah, we'll just go there. All right. A lot of conversation happening. We have 300 people in the room. Like the video, hit subscribe, baby. That's a free way to contribute. And like I said, make sure you spend $3 on the YouTube channel. If you hit that money sign, you guys can get involved on our raffle this month, where we got the Boy Green Woody tailgate package. That's going to be a lot of fun. We have all the items from the tailgate that people who are there got. We've got the 1975 New York Jets yearbook cover. Shout out to Joey Matesic. NFL Combine, authentic Jets gear. Here's the cool thing. I've gotten a lot of cool relationships over the years, and I've gotten to know Jets employees in the building. So when Jets employees leave, sometimes they call me up and say, "Hey, man, I got all this gear that I got issued from the Jets. Do you want it?" I'm like, "Hell yeah, I want it, baby." And so, yeah, sometimes I buy some of their stuff, which is cool because, like, some of the stuff they get issued, like, they don't sell on the website or anything. So some cool stuff there, which is awesome. So hell yeah, baby. Let's go. So, yeah, that's all our items for this month. Again, if you spend $3 on the channel, you get a raffle ticket to win those items. Again, that'll be coming up on November 1st. Let's do this. We'll play Have Time Out. Let's go to Happier Times, and we'll open up the phone lines next right here on Boy Green Daily.
1, 2, 3. Boy Green, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Talking Jets football, man. All right. Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. The New York Jets Football Club. Offense, defense, special teams, watch Jets football with Boy Green. Everyone, J-E-T-S, Jets. Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Talking Jets football, man. All right. Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Yeah. Offense, defense, special teams, watch Jets football with Boy Green. J-E-T-S, Jets. Let's go!
Third hat, baby. Let's go. Hell yeah. We're still here with each other, even during the dark times. That's how it works. So the phone lines are open. That is youtube.com/boygreen25. That's a pinned comment on YouTube. And by the way, that was Hep singing live at our tailgate extravaganza for Jets Cowboys, which was terrific. So shout out to Hep, an absolute legend. He promised, he said, hey, man, I'll sing the Boy Green Daily song there. And shout out to all the people that were so involved in the show, which was so involved in the song, which was awesome. All right, let's go to the phone lines. Up first, Mr. Famous Fulton here on the channel. What's up, Mr. Famous?
Well, good morning, Paul. How are you this morning?
I'm a little sick, I'm going to be honest, but we're powering through, buddy.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. You're not feeling well today.
Yeah, it's been going on for like a week plus, so hopefully it eventually stops. It's been super annoying, but hey, we'll get past it.
Yeah, my mom's not feeling well as well, so
Oh, I hope she
she's the
feels
same
better.
way. Yes. Yep. So I'm getting ready for that. The big musical coming up next month.
Oh yes,
Um,
yes.
Yep. So we're excited for it.
Good luck, man.
Yeah. Yep. I've got an audition today for virtual audition with The Voice.
Oh, for the voice.
So,
Oh, cool.
yep.
Okay.
Yep. Today at
So
9 a.m. this morning.
Oh my goodness, that's in 45 minutes. Good Lord. Okay, that's or well,
I know,
I
right?
guess for you, you're in that's one time zone different probably. So that's what, an hour 45 probably, I guess.
Yes. Yep.
Oh,
It
I
sure
see.
is.
Okay, what song are you going to be singing?
I haven't no idea yet.
Oh,
Do you
so it's
have
going to be
one
like a
in particular?
surprise audition.
Yep.
Oh, well, here's one I love. You know, people are going to go, "Oh, Paul, you're so old." I love Marvin Gaye, "Ain't No Mountain High Enough." You know that? Oh boy, I'm singing that all the
Yes.
time. You know? You know that
Maybe I
song?
could try it. Yeah, I do. Yep.
Oh, do you want to give it a whirl? Do you want to sing it?
Sure. Sure.
Oh, great. Okay, let's go full screen. All right.
All
Are you in
right.
can we see you?
Yeah. Just a second.
Okay. All right. Great. All right. Marvin Gaye. Nice. I got a personal jukebox here. This is great. All right. Go ahead, Mr. Famous Fulton.
Head down mountain high enough. Head down mountain high enough. Head down mountain high enough.
Wow. Thank you so much, Mr. Famous Fulton. Appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, you're welcome. Hope you get better soon. We'll be praying for you and everything. So you know.
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. So prayers up and good luck for the voice, man.
Yep, going to the IU football game this Saturday. So
Oh, that'll be
so
awesome.
much. I got so much to do, Paul. It's
You're a busy man.
time. Yep, busy, famous, and legendary, man.
Of course. And thank you for gracing us with your presence. Thank you.
You're welcome, Paul.
There we go. He just said it. It's just like alarm. The pleasure is all mine. Bang. Okay. Ain't no mountain high enough. Okay. That was a different version than I've heard before, but you know what? I like it. It had that homey touch. All right. Well, let's go back to the phone lines here on the program. Up next, Easy here on the show. What's up, Easy?
Hey, baby, what's going on, man?
Hey, wow. What's popping?
I was doing my little Barry White. Hey, what's going on?
Oh, very nice. I can hear it. Yeah, it's very good.
Yeah. Somebody brought up a really good point, and
Okay.
I think we had all forgotten
Was it
about
me?
this one point. No. It was one of the guys. I saw it in the thing, and I acknowledged it in the chat.
Okay.
Justin Fields has a very mild form of epilepsy. Okay. Yeah, he has a mild form of epilepsy.
Oh.
And nobody really knows how the brain works. And 3 weeks ago, he had his very first concussion in the NFL. Could that have
You're right.
triggered something? Because there's two
Jesus.
types of seizures you can have. You can have the seizure where you violently shake, and then you can have the seizure where you just zone out. I don't know. Nobody really knows how the brain works. Could that mildly have affected him in his first game back? We don't know. Nobody really knows how the brain works. I mean, it's just a theory. It's just a theory.
Okay. All right.
Because he was definitely deer in the headlights looking. He was definitely like kind of froze, three guys open, and I think he just couldn't decide which of the open guys to throw to. I mean, something was definitely going on with him where he just wasn't right. He just wasn't right. I don't know. I really don't know. But, that's who the hell knows? God damn. You know, you hate thinking that it's a health issue with a brilliant, you know, he's a lovely young man. I mean, he's
He
a
seems it.
very good person. Yeah. And you know, who the hell knows what the fuck is going on with him? Maybe he needs to get a neurological test. I don't know.
Yeah,
There's a
maybe.
lot about the human brain that nobody knows. We don't
I
know
think I,
anything about it, really. We're
I
just
think I,
scratching the tip.
I think I need a neurological test. Yeah.
Yeah, because you keep putting me on and people keep yelling at you for it. No, I'm
You
just
know what? No. You're all good fun. I think the chat really appreciates what you bring to the table, Easy.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, if he's cleared by the doctors, but you know, there are a lot of things like that neurologically that nobody can really put their finger on. It's like sometimes with back pain, you really don't know exactly what it is until you really go in and get the MRI. You can complain that your back hurts, but until they actually like put that MRI in and see the bone touching the nerve, you know, they'll, you know, there's no real proof.
That's true. I also
Anyway,
wanted this question. So, okay, this is. I guess this is okay. We'll do okay. Easy. I'll give you some trivia here. Okay, this is not Jets related trivia. This is just nonsense trivia. But here we go. Okay.
Nonsense trivia. Okay. Oh, shit balls.
How much of the ocean have we not explored by percentage?
You gonna give me choices, or do I have to guess on my own?
Yeah. Off on your own. Fill in the blank. How much of the ocean have we as humans not explored yet?
I bet you it's probably at least 75 to 90% we don't know anything about yet.
You nailed it, Easy. It's more than 80% we haven't seen. So, like when you're talking about like the brain, so congratulations, way to go, Easy. Boom shakalaka. Yeah, there's nonsense trivia for you. But because when you're saying, oh man, there's so much about the brain we don't know, I'm like, you know what? I'm watching because my daughter is always into the oceanography and stuff, and she watches it on the TV. And I'm like, man, there's so much about the ocean we don't know. More than 80% of the ocean, we have no idea what the hell's in there. We haven't explored it yet. Like, that's insane.
We know more about the moon than we know about the ocean.
That's crazy.
What does that tell you?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that tells us, but. Yeah,
but I don't know. Can you get Rex on your show?
Rex Ryan? Oh, I've tried. He's on my hit list, but he does not do a lot of that I've seen. A lot of interviews beyond what he's required to do for ESPN radio.
Because there is one question I would want to ask him.
All right.
And I'm saying, and this would my question to Rex Ryan would be.
Okay.
Your dad was on the Super Bowl coaching staff.
Buddy Ryan.
You grew up, you and your brothers grew up. You're primarily, of all the teams in the NFL, you're primarily a Jet fan. You coached the Jets. You got us closer to the Super Bowl again than any other coach since your dad was in it.
Sure.
Would you be willing, as a great Jet fan, to be a defensive coordinator and do whatever it took to get this team back to glory if you did not get offered a head coach job? Would you still be willing to be our defensive coach because we love you and we think you could make it happen? That's what I would ask him.
Easy. That would be if I ever get Rex Ryan on the show. And again, I've tried. He's people have asked me to go on shows. They're like, "Oh, Paul, you've had a lot of cool interviews. Like, what interviews are on your like hit list of like people you want to interview?" And I'm like, "Oh, Rex Ryan is definitely on that all-time list for me for sure." And that's a great question because he's interviewed for 2 defensive coordinator jobs. And to ask him straight up, would you really like? You haven't been in the NFL like a decade.
If you love the Jets the way you claim
basically,
to,
right? Yeah, sure. Would you be willing to do whatever it takes? In this case, DC. Yeah.
And what offensive head coach would you not have a problem playing under? Because my dream team is Gruden and Rex Ryan, John Gruden and Rex Ryan. That's my dream team.
That would be quite a group.
Look at all that coaching experience. There isn't, because Gruden can flat out teach a quarterback how to play quarterback.
Yeah,
Plus, he can call a game. Plus, he's with him and Rex on the team, as Rex is like a co-head coach or something. But you know, he's the defensive guy. Gruden's the offensive guy. Mm-hmm. I think that's the formula for success. And I don't care what anyone says. Nobody has gotten us as far as Rex Ryan has since his dad was on the coaching staff that got us to the Super Bowl. And I know that's a redundant statement. I said it earlier, but I mean it. We need credibility. We need We need that. I mean, the only one that even
Right.
came as close was Parcells.
Sure. Yeah.
And I'm sure that Glenn has been on the phone with Parcells daily,
He did.
trying
He
to
even
help him
said the
figure
other
this
day.
out.
So
Yeah,
what was that? Monday morning.
yeah.
He
I
spoke
read
to us
that
at
too.
like 11, and then spoke to him earlier in the day. That's true. Yeah, 100%.
He's a Parcells guy.
Yeah.
Parcells would love to help him along. As far as
Yeah.
Parcells, I got to help the kid. I know he's a grown man with a gray beard, but to Parcells, he's still one of his kids, you know?
Of course. Yeah.
I would love for Aaron Glenn to turn this around. I really would.
Yeah.
And all these people saying he's in over his head. Look, this guy's been a scout. He's been a coach. He flipped Detroit. Detroit was the Jets before the Jets. And they don't
Yeah.
even have a Super Bowl. They haven't won championships since the mid 50s.
They haven't even
So,
been to a Super Bowl. So yeah. I
right,
mean,
right. They haven't won championships since the mid 50s when Alex Karras was on their defensive line. And what was the guy's name? Landry was there. Greg Landry was their quarterback.
yeah,
We're
okay.
going back now.
Yeah.
I was a Lions fan when I was a kid because I saw this
Oh.
George Plimpton movie. It was Alan Alda played George Plimpton, and George Plimpton back in the day when he did investigative reporting and wrote books would actually experience the life. So he tried to get on an NFL team, and the only team that would let him go to training camp was the Detroit Lions. And they,
Oh. Good.
if you ever watched the movie Paper Lion, what they did to this poor guy, the jokes they played, the hazing he had to take, they
Yeah,
gave
yeah.
him number 0 before number 0 was even allowed in the NFL.
Right. Yeah.
He was running around in the end zone to do a pass. This is when the goalpost was still on the goal line.
Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
And the pole was right in the middle of the end zone. He's running around scrambling. He crashes right into the goalpost.
Wow.
Funny ass shit, I'm telling you. But,
That's
I was a
good.
Lions fan because of it, 'cause,
Yeah. Yeah.
they were the lovable. It was so funny.
Lovable
And
losers.
Alan Alda played George Plimpton, the writer. So
Oh,
I
nice.
mean,
Okay.
so it was a great movie. It's called Paper Lion.
Okay. I'm gonna have to go look that one up. Easy. I'm gonna have to go look
Yeah,
that
it was
one
a
up.
funny movie.
right.
Anyway, I want some feedback. What do people think about my theory that maybe that concussion might have triggered something in him?
All right.
Maybe,
Let's.
I don't know.
Yeah. I'm not a
I don't know.
doctor either. I'm not sure, but folks, respond to the comment section. Could that be a factor? Perhaps. And then what do you make of the Rex Ryan Chucky combo? That's number 3 at your local fast food restaurant. Chucky Ryan. All right. All right, let's head back to the phone lines. We've got 400 people in the room. Like the video, hit subscribe. Appreciate the support. And let's go to the legend himself. A man, let's just be honest. Let's just put it this way. Women want to be with him and men want to be him. It is Chef Kevin Gilbert joining us here on the show, baby.
I'm like, who are you talking about?
Yeah, that's it. The legend himself. That's it. People
My man.
idolize this man. Let's
Hey,
go.
good morning to you, man. Shout out to you and the Coffee Club members, man. Shout out number 1 Austrian Jet fan, man. Glad to see you back, man, doing your thing. Shout out to that boy, Jay, 3 Sibs, man. Yo, salute to you, man. Hope things will get better, man. Keep your head up, champ. Things are down, but things will eventually get better, man. At least you're not on that Jet staff because things don't really look too good if you were part of that. So as fans, we could just do what we do, but when it comes to real life stuff, man, just buckle in, lock down, and make sure you take care of business, man. At the end of the day, you're a man, you're a family man, and all that. So we appreciate you. Let us know if you need anything else. Man, when it comes to the Jets, dude, like, yo, we coming from a chef, man, we're cooked, man. Like they ain't no way to really, sugarcoat this stuff, man. Like
Yeah.
I thought when we was at that Cowboys game, 30-3 going into the 4th quarter, I'm like, it can't get much worse than this.
Mhm.
And then to see what they did in London, which was worse than last year when we were in London, like I'm it's tough, man, because I'm the positive dude, and since we got rid of Sal and no Rodgers and all this other stuff, like me just being honest and not being a fan, but just being honest and looking at just being a fan of the NFL and football in general, and looking at other teams' rosters and who we match up against. Like for me, being called negative at 6 wins, calling it how I called it, like, yo, I'm over. I'm like I'm well over. And this Carolina game, man, this is the game that I had it circled so many times as like a guaranteed lock win. Like, that I really felt good that this, like, we out of all the games, this is the one we gonna nail, like, easily. And I still think that it could be in reach, man. I don't think it's like totally out because yeah, Carolina, they did beat the Cowboys, man, and they did put up some points at the end of that fourth quarter to lock the win. But with Bryce Young, man, what was it? It was like just shy of 200 yards passing. I think it was
Yeah,
like
yeah,
on the cusp, like what 190 something or whatever. So
yeah,
he was
yeah,
like
yeah.
almost there. So for me, I'm not really afraid of that. That's not something where it's like, oh my God, like he's throwing lasers all over the field. Like,
Right.
I feel good at least with that. And seeing how the
Mhm.
defense stepped up last week, like, it's in the right direction. It's not like a hot and cold kind of thing with our offense where, 1 week we getting this, the other week we getting that. And, with that offense, with a new play caller with Tanner, like, we're gonna have some of that inconsistencies, man, knowing that this is
Of
the
course.
first time he's really doing this stuff. So for me, like, at least a little hopeful that things will get a little bit more consistent.
Sure.
But that defense, man, like what Carolina did, like, yo, homeboy, their running back, he had 30 carries. All right,
Jesus.
was close to 200 yards rushing. So for me,
Yeah.
like with what we were doing, and I've always been a fan, like, of our run defense, knowing like, all right, at least we can count on that, man.
Yeah, right.
Secondary, looks a little funny. The linebacking core, it used to be good, but that, like, our run, like that line, JJ last week coming off of injuries,
Oh,
man,
yeah, man.
like dude, like he's somebody, man, that we could really count on. I'm just afraid of like the usage though. Like
Yeah, they used him a lot, yeah.
that's my fear. Just right coming right off of injury, and he had a serious one last year. Like, with the amount of snaps that he had, like he did look good. There was times where he was dominating, but
Mhm.
it was still tough where he almost had a sack, like he was really close, missed a couple tackles or whatever. But yo, he's an enforcer in there, and that also helps limit the amount of times that Clemens is out on that field, man. Like,
Mhm.
I'm just look, it's tough, man. I'll kind of like look for some positives, man, because at this point, man, with our record, there's not too much to be, pretty happy about. Like, and I appreciate your stance because, with most people right now in this Jets world, like, you're the dude that said 12 wins.
I am.
And
Yeah.
I I don't, I'm not really good at math, but I think I'm, kind of know that that's out of reach at this point, man.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
is there a recalculation on your part? Is there like maybe we gonna get 10 straight, 11? Like, is there any kind of recalculation on your part, or are you just gonna totally be like, hey man, we gonna hit at least like 2, 3? Like, where are you
I
at right now?
think in
Like, honest talk, man.
Yeah, right.
I ain't
No,
even really
no.
trying to put you on the spot like that,
No,
my
no,
guy.
no,
But
no. It's hey, man. When
this is
you
honest
say,
talk, man. This is family talk.
hey, 100%. It's just me and you here. No one else is here. Thank you to the 400 people. I appreciate you. But no, I mean, hey, I said it. I got to stand by it. I think here's the truth. I don't think we're bottoming out and having 0, 1, 2, or 3. I think
Mhm.
what's going to happen is we're going to have a surge. Does it happen in Carolina? I don't know. Or against Carolina? Does it happen in Cincinnati? When is the game that it happens? I think the Jets string a couple wins together, and this may be unpopular. I think they finish up with 5, 6 wins, maybe even
Okay,
7.
all right. Well,
And
that's at my prediction.
I think so. So your prediction is still alive, and I think it's still possible. So I think it can all still come together. All of that is still possible. I think again we saw with the defense and special teams showing up. Now the key is, can they show up in back-to-back weeks? I think that's going to be
Hmm.
the big one, quite frankly. If we see defense and special teams still look good, we're like, oh, okay, with something a switch flipped. I think that's going to be key.
For me, like, I and there's so many different ways, so many different avenues to kind of like go through this. Where if we do get if the play doesn't improve, it's like like what like how can you like really kind of assess what's going on? Because at 6 wins, we still got a chance to get a quarterback, but it's not like, hey, we're getting the guys, so we're gonna have to give up some assets to go to move up to like really get somebody. And at this point, man, like I'm not locked in on college football to the point where
Me either.
I'm really like dialed in on who's that blue chip prospect quarterback. And like I'm a U fan and we looking good, but I don't really know the lay of the land on like who's the top five and who looks really good. Like at this point, man, like I'll wait till maybe like the December time or whatever. I know we
Hopefully,
talking
right.
about draft talk now, which is crazy, but with the situation now we're in at 0-6,
I get
literally
it, I guess.
the worst team in football, man,
Yeah.
the worst franchise, man, in all of sports, man. 15 years, like, yo, this is crazy. Like, I had somebody challenge me the other day. It was like, nah, the Buffalo Sabres are worse. I'm like, man, look it up. They were like, oh, 2014 is the last time they were. I'm like, yo, it's like, it's tough, man. Like, there was crying kids at that Cowboys game that we went to.
There was a lot of those.
Yo, it's tough, but then it's like I can't get on board with cheering for losses right now, man. Like I can't. I like as somebody that goes to games, that pays money for games, man. Like I don't know people that pay money to go to the games to boo the Jets. Like that's a pro like Jet fans, season ticket holders, people that pay to go to MetLife, go to the stadium and shit. Like, yo, we're a different breed. Like we don't see Jet fans there booing us. Like that don't happen. But
Right.
there, but we boo bad play calling, man. We boo bad plays and like not even taking shots, man. Like just waving the white flag, man. Like you could say what you want about Salah and all that. Yo, one thing that I was always consistent with is like the end game clock management. I'm like, ah, man, you gotta use those timeouts. One of those things is like we would always end the first half and still have some timeouts left over where it's like, yo, just use them, man. Like,
100%.
like stop sitting on them stuff, man. And for us, it's just like the timing and the why and all that. And we're fans, so Glenn don't really have to explain much to us about, yo, why I did
No, I
this and why I
guess
did that,
not.
as long as the players know. But guess what? The players don't even know. The players are coming out saying, yo, what are we doing?
Yeah,
Us
Garrett
as fans,
Wilson.
like, yo, what are we doing, man? Like, what's the plan? In high school, we practice 2-minute drills.
That was
Yo,
bad.
you want to put points on the board? Yo, we're 0-6, man. We have no wins, no sense of urgency to put any kind of points on the board. What about getting a field goal range and kick something through? Just something, my guys, something, man. And
Right. We
it
weren't
don't
up
like you want to
24
win, man.
nothing. Like we didn't even have the lead. So like it's not AG, it's like, I guess I'm good enough for the lead. Like we were down. Like, why wouldn't you want more points? I want as many points as we could possibly get. It was ridiculous.
Yo, man, and this isn't the first time he was saying like, hey, we getting the ball in the second half. Like, yo, that's just a bonus, man. When you're in the game, you don't worry like, oh yeah, we're getting the ball. No, that's just added on top. Let's close this first half and get some more points on the board. At least take a shot, man. And BG, like I think I caught you like towards the end of your watch party, man. Like, what do you remember? What like your thought process was going on at the time when there was like, going forward on fourth down, forward with Brees in the back. I'm like, yo, this is a clear. We going for it. Like what?
That
Like and
was
and then just like not even like taking a shot. Like what was your reaction in game? Like while you're doing that watch along, man.
That was incredible. So, like, I'm looking at the time. I'm like, all right, I guess you're not going to go for it. I would have gone for it. And then they show this camera shot of Brees Hall. And I'm like, Brees Hall ain't the punt protector. What the hell is he doing back there? I'm like, wait a second. Is that the starting offensive line? And I'm like, well, this is the most obvious fake of all time. And they get it. I'm like, all right, well, when you do it that obvious, you better get it or you're going to get clowned forever for showing that up. Because if you're going to do that, you might as well just keep the offense on the field. That doesn't make any sense. So they do that. I'm like, all right, here we go. Gung ho. When you do a move like that, you're like, we're going for points. We're going for touchdown. We're going for field goal. We're going for something. And then they just rolled over. I'm like, what the hell? And then AG's explanation for one ref said first down, one ref said fourth down. So
He said he
confused. Let's
was
go to the half.
confused. How are you confused, dude? Like, and this is the stuff where I'm like, yo, like, the stuff ain't getting better. Like I don't know, man. Yo, I salute you, BG, for
Yeah,
like riding with Glenn, man.
sure.
I don't see the improvements, and he already lost the locker room. I'll go back and forth with you on that. I mean, and it's clear as
Oh,
day
wow.
with
Okay.
Garrett Wilson already getting at him with them, or with the team, with the defensive players already having a team meeting, players only. We're getting ready to play our sixth game into the new regime. He got a 5-year contract, man, and we already having players only meetings. The Bills game, Glenn is like, "Yo, I got to look in the mirror." Like we already having these talks, and
Well, it worked.
somehow I'm supposed to feel. Well, I'm sorry. What do you say?
Yeah, I'm just saying, hey, the player meetings are always scary on the surface, but it worked. The defense stepped up, so salute to Jermaine and Quinnen. Like
But that's
that
on
made
the
a
play.
difference.
Yeah, but that's on the play. Yo, where's the coaching though?
Well,
We're they doing like the coach couldn't do that. The players, Quinnen, yeah, they pissed off, man. Where's the voice in that locker room? Who's talking to these guys? Who are they rallying behind? That's what I'm telling you. Yo, they already split up. It's like, yo, we getting paid. We got a job to do. These are our names. Like we looking silly. We got to step up, and that's what they did, man. All right, we got one takeaway. One. I, where's more? It's Bo Nix, my man, BG. It's Bo Nix, man.
Bo
Who
Nix.
we kidding right now? Yeah. All right. They stopped Bo Nix? We supposed to be like, all right, yeah, things are gonna get a lot better. Dude, I don't know. This is Carolina. I'm already giving you some positives where it's like, yo, we gotta get this, man. We don't get this, yo. The road ain't looking too good, man. Like it's a scary spot,
I
man.
mean, look at these random quarterbacks we're going to play. So we got Bryce Young, we've got Joe Flacco, and Dylan Gabriel. Those are the next three quarterbacks the Jets are facing. So if the defense can't do something against these guys, then all hope is lost.
So after these next three, then it's like what you said, all hope is, is
Well, yeah,
lost.
if the defense right, so like for me,
Hmm.
the positives, and I'm like, you know what? That's something. The defense finally showing up. Is it just one off and then they suck again? Rico Dowdle runs for 200 yards again, and the Jets defense looks like booty cheeks. Like, up, that was just a random blip. But if they
Yeah.
show up again, you're like, okay, it's back to back games, or the specialties back to back games. Okay, this is the arrow pointing up. And I think a big one for a lot of people, obviously, is going to be the offense. How the hell does the offense look against Carolina, who obviously is not nearly as ferocious or vaunted as Denver? And if you can't do anything against them, that's going to raise some serious questions about everybody, quite frankly. So, yeah, those are the things for me. You're playing all these with all due respect. So, again, if you say this in the beginning, I can then say anything I want after. Bryce
Absolutely.
Young, Joe Flacco, and Dylan Gabriel. I mean, what
Hmm.
the hell? Like, the Jets defense should be able to feast.
Exactly, man. That's why I'm hoping, we can get this. But then it's like our head coach, I'm not going to bring up field stats from London because we already know that, man.
Please
It's
don't.
like,
Yeah.
like a knife in the back when you keep hearing all that stuff. But it's like, yo, he's riding with him. It don't matter how, because he's worried about his feelings. Like it don't matter what happens in the game. Like he's not gonna bench him. And I'm not talking about that Tyrod talk. Like yo, like Tyrod in for field. I ain't talking that. Like
Yeah.
I was with like pulling him in London for Tyrod. Like I was with that because what
Sure.
was happening
Yeah.
wasn't working. Like I can't get on board with
Fair.
benching fields because what happens with Tyrod, man? The dude's made out of glass. Something happened to him. What? Then you're
100%.
putting fields back in. Like yo, I look.
Yeah.
That's some clown behavior, man. You can't even do that. People can't
Right.
take us seriously, man. Like, and then so with the offense, then it's like, all right. So who we throwing to this week? We ain't even hit Brees in London. So how
Unbelievable.
how are we gonna get this together? How are we gonna get this going, man? It's tough, but hey man, let's see what they do. Let's see how they produce, man. Monday morning quarterback. That's where us fans, really feast on and whatnot. And to be honest, man, it's not something I can get on board with the cheering for tanking. I can't do
No.
that. But come December, man, like if we ain't really putting stuff on the board, like what are these wins gonna really show, man? Like it has to be against some good quality stuff, good quality players and teams where they're not resting people and all that, where we can really see some improvement, man. That defense, the offense, like with Fields, man, I had more trust in him before the start of all this, and we're not utilizing him. Talking about run, 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 and The only time he's running is when things are breaking down, and to not get the ball out and all that, like it's pretty frustrating. It's like what were they using those cameras for at training
Right.
camp? Those GoPros and all that, like like right then and there, did you see him getting rid of the ball? And if so, then coaching should have helped improve that. And if he improved from then it's like, yo, what did we get?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Ticket. If my son didn't, we have our last regular season game for football is this Sunday. So unfortunately, I'm gonna miss that Carolina game. But yo, I've been
Yeah.
looking, man. They're down to those lower level seats, man. They're down to $80, man. Like,
Oh my God,
there's no
man.
way Woody's happy right now, man. Because that
I can
stadium,
imagine
dude.
not.
Yo,
Right.
the stadium is. How many Carolina Panther fans do you know?
Two, and
They
and
they
they're
ain't gonna they ain't gonna be there, yo. Like the
they're not going to
Cowboys,
be
yo.
there.
Nah, they're not.
Yeah.
Yo, they're not gonna be there, man.
Yeah.
Like the Cowboys, they showed out. We all know that. All
But
right, we
yeah,
know that.
Dallas fans. Oh yeah.
Carolina, yo, it's gonna look bad. We're not gonna when we watch this game, they're not gonna do the panoramic like to the stands and all. They ain't gonna do
Definitely
that,
not.
man.
Right.
They're not going to
Yeah, I
do
don't
that,
think
man.
so.
But let's hope we get a win, man, in front of the fans, in front of these season ticket holders. They deserve to see a win, man. Like all this money
For
that they're
sure.
paying, all this time that they're putting out there, man. Like everybody does their own little tailgate. BG does it to another level, but everybody else, man, like it takes time. You marinate your food, you get your
Mhm.
grills right and all that. You get your speakers, your sound systems, like every all these Jet fans, man, like it's different, man. And
Mhm.
when you're seeing a team lose, like it kind of like is a little deflating and all that. So it's important that AG learns from this stuff. It looked like he took some accountability, saying,
Mhm.
"Hey, man, hindsight, I should have, went for it,
Yeah.
at least at a shot." So I could appreciate that.
Mhm.
But these other things got to clean up, man. And seeing these players come out and doing their meetings and yelling on the field at you, like we gotta clean this up, man. Because at the naked eye right now, from the outside as us, it's not looking too good, man. That's just my 2 cents, brother.
Well, I appreciate the honesty as always, Chef. You always shoot us straight, and you're the best, baby.
I'll
Thanks for
try,
joining
brother.
us on
Have
the
a good one.
program.
Hey, and take care, man. You're cold and all that,
Oof.
man. It's
I'm doing every recipe, every made up. I'm googling, I'm WebMD, and I'm diagnosing everything I possibly can. For God's sakes! And this thing is,
hmm
I'll tell you this though, that it must have come from the tailgate. My kids got it and everything, but I'll tell you, I would do it again. I would get sick again because we're all sick as Jet fans being
Yeah,
here
yeah.
right now on October 15th with 400 gosh darn people in the room at 8:42
hmm
in the morning talking about this 0-6 gosh darn football team. So I'd get sick all over again, baby, every damn time, especially that Chef
hmm
Kevin Gilbert food, baby.
Well, that's why we love you, BG. Keep it going, man. Keep that watch along stuff going, man. Keep that good spirit and energy, man. Salute to you in the coffee club.
Appreciate you. There he is, Chef, gracing us with his presence. Always great insights. All right, let's go to him. We referenced this guy earlier on the program, and now let's hear from him. Neil Sr.
What's up, boy?
Okay.
Green.
Oh, man. I thought you had
What
passed
was
out
I
there.
referenced for? What happened?
Oh, yeah. Just your about what was it? I think it was you wanted a coach that had NFL experience and NFL resume, where people were asking earlier about potentially firing Glenn and who they would want and things of that nature. I said, yeah, Neil talked about earlier this week how important that is on the resume.
I think a lot of people know that. We all talked about getting coach with experience. I mean, that's not we've had such failures with coaches without experience. We tried
Yeah.
enough of those on. When
Yeah.
you try a bunch of shoes on and they don't fit, and you get out and walk around and you get a big fat, corn on your foot, maybe it's time to change your shoes. But it's us, it's the Jets, and we keep doing the same thing over and over again. That's our plan. But anyhow, I want to win, Paul. Can we
Me
get
too.
one win? I
Yeah.
mean, I just want to win.
Yeah.
I don't, look, that game was gifted to us. Denver was like, here you go. Come on.
Mhm.
Sean Payton, I don't even think he had his headset on. I think he was listening to music on the sidelines. He didn't even care. He wasn't like coaching. He was like, Okay. He wanted him to lose because he probably wants Denver to lose a game and get pumped up for next week. Because I don't know what it was. They gifted us the game. Let me tell you, this is the first game I watched.
Okay.
The refs were trying to give us the game. First time I ever saw. I mean, could you?
That was good. The Garrett Wilson fumble. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Well, how about safety?
Oh yeah, nice.
I mean, come on. That was like we never get that call.
And we took the lead with that. How did we take the lead with the safety on a bunch of field goals? That was unbelievable.
Let me tell you something. Everything in that game, pointed to a win. The reality is, Aaron Glenn and Justin Fields, and I throw Tyler Angstrom in there. They killed us in this game, guys. They killed us.
Yeah.
The play calling. I mean, can I ask you why the F are we not? I mean, maybe Justin Fields can't throw. Look, if he can't run, if he can't throw an accurate out, a 5-yard out, which anybody could do in college or even high school.
Sure, yeah.
I see my son's, old St. Anthony's team. The quarterback could rifle a ball, on a 10-yard out and hit any 10 out of 10 on a 7-on-7.
Yeah.
He can't. He's not running. He's
Not right
holding
now,
on
no.
to the ball, and he doesn't throw screens or do anything. Now, if it's Tyler Angstrom making the calls that is not allowing him to do those things, I mean, we all talked about it, right, Paul? We know Justin Fields' strength.
Yeah.
His strength is one read. If the read is not open, run.
Yeah.
That's where he had his success. Okay?
Yes.
I mean, it's not by accident. The guy got 1,000. We're talking about a quarterback that got 1,000 yards rushing.
Yeah, 1,100 yards. Second most all time in a single season. Yep.
Only Vic has done better run 1,000 yards as a quarterback in the history of football.
Yeah,
But
Lamar
we are
actually.
smarter than that.
Yeah.
Ooh, the Jets are going to change him. We're going to put a GoPro on his head and turn him into a pocket passer like Johnny Unitas. No! At least give the guy his strengths and make him do what he's strong at. What do they always say? Give him what the defense, do what the defense gives you. And the defense, when you're blitzing, like Denver kept blitzing, right?
Yeah.
If you don't check down, I mean, I see plays, Paul, that he doesn't even look. There's a guy wide open on the right side that's got nobody in front of him for 10 yards. He's staring over here. He doesn't even check it down once a game, twice a game. I mean,
I can't believe Brees didn't have a target in that game. That's the first time.
Not a single target. How about the tight end didn't have a target either?
I think Mason Taylor had one catch. Yeah, one catch for like 2 yards.
How many
but that
targets did he have? One?
We had
Two?
one, maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, listen. When Fields was on the Pittsburgh, and when he was on the Bears, Cole Kmet was like a top tight end in football.
Yes, yeah.
That's all he did was throw to the tight end. So Mason Taylor should be having we all thought Mason Taylor was going to have a great season because Justin Fields likes the tight end.
Sure, yeah.
Right? We don't need Garrett Wilson. If you got the tight end and he can catch the ball, and you got, look, Reynolds does not look bad, by the way. He hasn't dropped one pass, by the way. I'm looking at this guy, Reynolds, and he hasn't had a single. I haven't seen him make a drop. Maybe he has one drop for the season.
Maybe
but he catches the ball. I mean, now let me ask you, why no Jets? Look, jet sweep. Have we seen a jet sweep all season?
We saw one and it came in a bad form. I can't remember if it went to Arian Smith or who it went for. We had a big play and then we did the reverse jet sweep and then it was a massive loss. I can't remember. It was one of the games earlier.
That's not a jet sweep. That was an end around. That's when a guy goes 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
You're just talking about straight up on the line of scrimmage.
What I'm talking about is Justin Fields snaps the ball and just goes like this, or some guys just throw it up.
They should do that to Arian Smith, right?
Yeah. I mean, look, there's no creativity on the first game, Paul. Mm-hmm. We saw Tyler Angstrom emptied the playbook. We were all, look, it was not a bad game at all. It was a good game on offense. We put points up. Things were in rhythm. Justin Fields was doing well. He was getting rid of the ball. His accuracy was fine. I mean, and then that's it. We get one game out of 6, and then it's just cocooning back to what we saw the last 3 years. I mean, I don't get it. I don't understand that. That doesn't make sense to me. I mean, either something's going on internally where Justin Fields is just telling them, I don't want to run, or something is up.
Yeah,
we're missing it here.
Lou B sent it in.
Wow.
We have a quarterback that doesn't run or throw. I mean,
That's what he does, though. That's his only strength. Wait, his strength is, and look, this is the other thing.
Yeah.
You know, once in a game, could we go downfield? Could we throw a jump ball? I see game after game after game, and I watch a lot of football, Paul. I like watching football. I love it. Yeah. The only thing that I hate watching is our own team play. It's just gut-wrenching. But other teams, Paul, throwing the ball up. I see so many quarterbacks. Tua does it like half of his passes are jump balls. Guys are throwing jump balls out there. And we got a guy on the receiving core. I forget his name. Is it Smith or one of the guys is like 6'4", 6'5"? We got a big receiver on the roster.
We got Lazard. We got Lazard.
Okay, listen, Lazard is good at jump balls. He caught a Hail Mary from Aaron Rodgers last year.
He did.
So get him out there and just toss the ball up and let him take a jump ball. If you're throwing it 30 yards down the field, it's as good as a punt. Let's try something goddamn fresh and new. You're 0-6. Why are you playing not to lose at 0-5? That's where Aaron Glenn makes me want to pull my hair out. He's not playing to win. You know what I'm saying? You're 0-6. Look, and he coached with Dan Campbell. Who's a bigger gambler than Dan Campbell? Nobody.
That's true. Yeah.
Especially in his first year coaching. Everybody used to go, holy shit, it's 4th and 8, 4th and 2. He just goes like this. He knows we're not going to, right? Dan Campbell's like, no, you don't even kick a field goal or punt. He just keeps going like this. And you know what?
Right. What?
That's how you give confidence in your players and your offense. Because it doesn't give a team confidence when your coach says after the game, well, I knew we were getting the ball in the second half, and I didn't want them to get the ball back and score. Come on, Paul. That's leadership. That's not leadership, my friend. Okay. Let's see what happens. We got to keep it going with look, I want Aaron Glenn to succeed as much as the next guy. I'm a Jet fan. I want to win goddamn games. I'm tired of losing.
100%.
But we got to see.
Yes.
Look, we have 3 winnable games. Okay.
Yep.
You said it a little while ago. The next 3 quarterbacks: Bryce Young, Flack Attack.
Yeah, and Dylan Gabriel, the rookie.
Which may not be Shador Sanders by the time.
Could be. Sure. Yeah, right. That's
who knows? Okay.
Yeah.
Who knows? And by the way, that wouldn't have been a bad idea for Mookie and Glenn to take
I was with you, Neil. I was with you, Neil.
In the draft, I'm not a draft guy, but, when I'm watching quarterbacks still on the board in the 4th and 5th round, and we're taking a linebacker, even though he's playing.
He's playing very well, actually. Shut up.
I could have liked to see a quarterback that's not an undrafted quarterback in our room that maybe we could go to when we're 0-10 and see if we might have somebody in the pen. We might have had a quarterback in the pen, but that's water under the bridge. So let's see what happens. As always, I'm rooting for a win this Sunday. And I'm going to tell you something. I watched some Carolina Panthers highlights. They're not a bad team.
They're not. They're 3-3. Yeah, they look pretty good. And they just beat the team that beat our ass. I mean, yeah.
Listen, they shut out the Falcons.
30-0.
The Falcons are good.
Yeah, they beat the Cowboys who beat us. Like, that was.
Yeah, they beat the Cowboys. They, put up 22, 27, and 30 in their last 3 games. What are we putting up?
Not good.
No, I'm not looking like I'm not. We need to have the defense. Let's get one game where we have offense, defense, and special teams all perform well. If we do that, see, this is what really frustrates me, and I'll end it here.
Sure.
What frustrates me is we have, last year they said we had a top 5 roster.
Correct.
And maybe that was overdone. However, our roster is probably out of 32 teams, I say it's 22.
That's fair. That's where I'd put
We
it.
have 10 teams. I will definitely argue with anybody on the chat that we have a better roster than in the NFL than 10 teams that out of 32. That I'll go to war with that player by player if we break it down. Okay.
Yeah.
So if we have the 22nd best roster and we're last in every category, you know we're at points. It points to the coach. You know, you gotta. So let's see what happens. Let's take game by game. If we lose the next three, Paul, I know you're with the Glenn thing and you got to give him time and this and that. You know, Rex Ryan said that this is a playoff team and coaching is a problem. You know, stuff is being said out there by pretty smart people that are not really that complimentary to the coaching staff. So, but we'll see it on Sunday. If we lose the next three, Paul, I you know, like you said, we can't lose the next three. If we lose the next three and we get beat by those three inferior teams, they're inferior to us on the roster. Again, to end it, three teams that we're playing right now. Could anybody argue that any of those three teams have a better roster than ours? Can't argue. No is the answer. No. Either, how about this? I'll take our roster over the other three teams with Tyrod Taylor quarterbacking, with Fields quarterbacking. Everybody's talking bad about Tyrod Taylor because he threw one pick six. God, he wins that game for us, Paul. If we
last week,
if we pull Justin Fields in the fourth quarter, he wins that game for us. I have no doubt in my mind.
It's hard for him to be worse. So yeah, probably we just needed a pulse.
I think Strevler would have won that game for us. I'm serious. He would have run. Strevler, Boyle. I can name a lot of quarterbacks that probably would have got us 25 yards in that last drive.
That's terrible.
And would have hit Garrett Wilson wide open on the left. You saw on all 22.
I did.
That last drive, guys were open, Paul. That's the disgusting part. When you're staring at a guy and he's in the flat and you're doing this with no pressure on you, and then you wait till he gets to the sideline and just throw him a hospital ball, that's a problem. Okay, so it better get fixed. Go Jets. Talk to you soon.
There he is, Neil. Great call. Passionate, as always. Appreciate it. And a lot of good points made there. This next three games is an important stretch for AG. Can he get off the mat? We'll see what happens. Thank you to the 400 people that tuned in live today here on the program. We'll be back on at 11 o'clock talking all things NFL and probably some more Jets, I imagine, with PFF NFL analyst Dalton Wasserman. Make sure you guys tune in. We're going to do an extra Jets-Panthers interview this week, which should be a lot of fun, with Mike Lissette, who does he's a sports anchor down there, so keep an eye out for that interview as well coming up here on the channel. Can't wait. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Like the video on the way out. Make sure you do. Again, we got 400 people in the room, over 100 on YouTube. But let me take a quick gander over here on YouTube before we hit the exit button. Let me just see. All right, we got 76 likes, but over 100 people in the room. 100 people. Make sure on the way out, you hit the like button, baby. Show your support for the show. That's how this Jet show get in front of other Jet fans out there in the universe. Appreciate y'all. Thank you guys for the super chats. We'll see you later.